I know I can walk into any single room in business and I can get the deal done. And half of it has nothing to do with my business IQ. It's really just like my emotional EQ. Like half the time I'm leading with EQ, not IQ.
Yeah. Who is Alex Cooper? The voice behind a podcast empire. Alex Cooper went from a relatively unknown creator to one of the most powerful voices in modern media, building a podcast that reshaped how a generation talks about relationships, identity, and life. This video explores her rise from college athlete to the face behind one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Alex Cooper isn't just a podcaster. She's a businesswoman, a storyteller, and a cultural figure who turned unfiltered conversations into a media empire. This video dives into her journey with Call Her Daddy, the controversies that tested her, and the moves that made her one of the most influential creators today. What makes people trust a voice through headphones more than traditional media? How do you turn raw, unfiltered conversation into a global brand? And what does it take to stay on top when the spotlight never turns off? From viral moments to massive deals, Alex Cooper has redefined what it means to build influence in the digital age. Is she just a podcast host, or the blueprint for a new kind of media mogul? Today, we explore the rise, strategy, and impact of Alex Cooper, the voice that turned conversation into power.
Say it. I want to know.
The most money I've ever turned down for a brand deal is $8 million.
No, it's not. No, it is not. Are you fucking serious? When?
This past year. I just didn't believe in putting my face next to it.
What was it?
I can't tell you.
No way. Really?
And I stand by it.
Welcome to Who Media, the channel where curiosity leads the way. From famous celebs and cartoon icons to legends and hidden names, we uncover the stories behind the people you know and the ones you don't. Alex Cooper is one of those names that didn't just rise, it exploded. But here's the thing most people get wrong. They think her story is about overnight success, viral clips, and controversy-driven fame. That's surface-level thinking. The real story? It's about control, reinvention, discipline, and understanding your own value in a world that constantly tries to define it for you. And if you actually look closely, her journey forces a question most people avoid. Do you really know your worth? Or are you just accepting what you're offered? Alexandra Cooper was born in Pennsylvania in 1994, growing up in a relatively normal environment compared to the chaos she'd later navigate. She was an athlete first, playing Division I soccer at Boston University. That alone tells you something important. High-level athletes don't just stumble into success. They're wired for discipline, repetition, and pushing through discomfort. Think about it. How many people say they want success, but aren't willing to wake up early, fail publicly, and do the same thing over and over until they get it right? Sports shaped her mindset long before media ever did. Being part of a team, competing at a high level, dealing with wins and losses, it builds something in you. Resilience, structure, accountability. Those traits don't disappear when the jersey comes off. They transfer. And that's exactly what happened when Alex transitioned out of sports and into the real world. After college, she moved to New York City, chasing opportunities like millions of other young people trying to figure it out. No clear blueprint, no guaranteed path, just ambition. And let's be real, that phase of life, it's messy. You're trying to build something while barely understanding yourself. You're guessing, experimenting, failing quietly. So here's the question. When you're in that uncertain phase, do you play it safe or do you take a swing? Alex didn't play it safe. In 2018, she co-created the podcast Call Her Daddy. At first glance, it looked like chaotic, unfiltered conversations about dating, relationships, and modern life. It was bold, raw, and unapologetic. But beneath the surface, something strategic was happening. She understood attention. She understood tone. She understood how to speak in a way that cut through noise. And more importantly, she understood audience. The podcast blew up. Fast. Millions of listeners. Viral moments. Cultural impact. But here's where the real test begins. Because success doesn't simplify your life. It complicates it. Suddenly there's money, contracts, power dynamics, and decisions that can either elevate you or trap you. So ask yourself this. If your life changed overnight, would you be ready to handle it? Then came the moment that defined everything, the contract dispute that became public. Most people saw drama, but if you look deeper, it was about leverage, ownership, and control. Alex made a decision that would either destroy her career or redefine it. She chose to bet on herself. That's not a motivational quote. That's a real risk. She walked away from uncertainty and stepped into full control of Call Her Daddy, eventually securing a massive deal that put her in a completely different league. Not just as a podcaster, but as a business force. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people would not have made that move. Most people stay where it's safe, even if it limits them. So the question is, when your moment comes, will you recognize it or will fear talk you out of it? From that point on, Alex didn't just run a podcast. She built a brand. She evolved the show's tone, expanded its reach, and began interviewing high-profile guests across entertainment, sports, and culture. She shifted from shock value to substance, proving something important. Reinvention is not weakness, it's strategy. Let's pause there, because that's a big one. People love to box you in. They decide who you are based on your first impression, your early work, your past mistakes. But growth demands change, and change makes people uncomfortable. So what do? Stay the same to keep approval or evolve and risk losing it? Alex chose evolution. Her interviews became deeper, more structured, more intentional. She leaned into storytelling, vulnerability, and real conversations. And that shift? It wasn't accidental. It was calculated growth. She understood that longevity requires substance. Flash gets attention, but depth builds legacy. And now here's the bigger question. Are you building something that lasts or just something that gets noticed? Behind the scenes, Alex Cooper operates with a level of discipline most people don't see. Podcasting at that level isn't just talking into a mic. It's preparation, research, branding, negotiation, production, and constant adaptation. It's business. It's pressure. It's consistency when you don't feel like showing up. That's the part people ignore because it's not glamorous. But that's where success actually lives, in the unexciting, repetitive, behind-the-scenes grind. Alex also mastered something critical in today's world, owning your narrative. Instead of letting others define her, she spoke directly to her audience. She controlled the message. She addressed controversy without letting it control her identity. That's power, because if you don't tell your story, someone else will. And they won't tell it the way you would. Think about that for a second. How much of your life is shaped by your own voice, and how much is shaped by other people's opinions? Another key part of her journey is confidence, not the loud, performative kind, but the kind that comes from understanding your value. That doesn't happen overnight. It comes from failing, adjusting, learning, and slowly building belief in yourself. Alex didn't wake up confident. She built it through experience. And confidence changes everything. It changes how you negotiate, how you speak, how you walk into rooms, how you handle criticism. When you know your worth, you stop accepting less. And that's a turning point most people never reach. Her success also highlights something people don't like to admit. You can be both relatable and strategic. You can be authentic and calculated. Those things are not opposites. They're powerful when combined. Alex knows how to connect, but she also knows how to execute. That balance is rare. And then there's the pressure. Millions of listeners, constant scrutiny, expectations to stay relevant, to grow, to not fall off. That's a different kind of stress. And yet she continues to show up, evolve, and push forward. That's not luck. That's resilience. So what's the real takeaway from Alex Cooper's story? It's not just about podcasting. It's not just about fame. It's about ownership. Ownership of your career. Ownership of your voice. Ownership of your decisions. She turned uncertainty into opportunity. She turned risk into leverage. She turned attention into a long-term platform. And she did it by refusing to stay small when things got complicated. So here's where it flips back on you. What are you settling for right now? Where are you playing it safe when you know you could push further? What opportunity are you hesitating on because it feels uncomfortable? Because growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in risk, in tension, in those moments where you're not sure if you'll win or lose. Alex Cooper's journey is a reminder that success is not about being perfect. It's about being willing to bet on yourself when it matters most. And let's be honest, that's the hardest thing to do. But if she can build something from scratch, navigate public pressure, take control of her platform, and evolve into something bigger, then the real question is, what's stopping you?
How did you know you were ready for that?
I didn't. I just knew that I loved him, and I'd never experienced anything else. I'd never felt any differently than this is who I want to spend the rest of my life with. You're pregnant and you're going to be very, very sick. But I'm so grateful. I wouldn't change a thing.
And did you like him at all? In your heart, you're like, oh, I wish I could.
Yes. I thought he was so cute.
On this first date,
Yeah.
what are the vibes?
It was one of the best days of my life. Honestly, it was so innocent and young, and I wish I could relive that, or at least watch it from a bird's eye view. It was so cute, just real young love. I don't know. I remember it like it was yesterday. I 100% said I love you first.
Thanks for watching Who Media. We hope you had fun learning something new today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a story.
I love a guy who gives me no attention. I love it. If you text me or call me too much, I will never speak to you again. I love a guy. I love it.
I don't give a shit about the pedicure.
toe.
I'm just shocked you don't have socks on. That's my only note, and then I'm gonna keep it
Because of
moving.
the cold?
No, because who the fuck shows up to an interview with no socks on and shows up also
Wait
with
for it.
sneakers on with no socks on?
Okay, but ma'am, you also are dressed like you're in hospice. So why